Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Morgan for those who don't know. Today I wanted to take a chance to jump in and start my channel because I've wanted to do this for a very long time, and I just started the spring semester of my junior year, so I figured now would be a great time to do a video about tips and tricks, things that generally help me be a better student. Okay, so this is a great video to watch if you're in college or just generally want some tips on studying better, developing better organization habits, or anything like that. So I've been doing this for a couple years now, and so far so good. So without further ado, we're going to just jump right into it. My first tip is to try to remain as organized as possible. I know it can be really easy to lose track of things. You forget what class is when, or you forget what building it is, or you go and plan to do something and you assume that you have enough time to get to class on time. In reality, you don't. And sometimes mistakes happen. You're going to have times where you overestimate or underestimate how long something's going to take, and you'll be late, or you'll miss an assignment because you forgot to write it down, or it was in the syllabus but the professor didn't talk about it, so you completely forgot about it. I have a couple of strategies that I talk about on my blog, justmorgan.me. I'll link it in the description. But a few tools that I feel have helped me personally stay organized. First and foremost, a planner. I got this one, and I got it because the longest time I've been trying to get more comfortable with using a written planner because I've tried using digital ones. They just don't work for me. I'm not saying that they don't work. I know that they do work for a lot of people. But for me personally, I'm more likely to remember things if I'm holding it in my hands after reading it, and I remember better because I've written it down. Whereas when I was just aimlessly adding things to my schedule online, that didn't really help me as much personally. So what I recommend is keeping your planner out on your desk. So the minute you unpack your things, then the minute you're ready to set up your desk or whatever your workspace is, put your planner out there and make a note to use it. Because the easiest thing to do is buy a planner and then never use it. I have found planners from 2019 and 2017 and 2018 that I simply had, and the only thing written in it was how to return it to me if I lost it. Quite frankly, even if I had lost it, it would have been probably more beneficial to whoever found it because there was nothing but blank pages. I think I might have filled in maybe 1 or 2 weeks worth of things between those 3 planners. But what I did to make myself use my planner is I did exactly what I just said. I put it on my desk, I put it in an accessible place, and I left a pen near it. Leaving the pen near it made it really easy for me to remember, okay, we're going to write this down and we're going to do it now because the pen is right here. There's no reason to go to another room and be like, oh, I can't find my pen or pencil. I'm going to go grab something from there. And then next thing you know, you forget to write it and you just don't use it. The next thing that helps me a lot personally, to-do lists. I usually try to make a to-do list every day. Not necessarily as soon as I get up, but after I've had breakfast and I'm ready to either start my day, go start my first class, I'll make a to-do list of things that I have to do. That could be things like assignments that I need to do or anything like that. Now that might sound kind of redundant when you have a planner, but for example, if I want to go grocery shopping, I might not necessarily put that in my planner just because I might decide the night before or the day of, I should really go get more XYZ, whatever is running out in the pantry. And that'll be a sudden thing that I'll remember to do, but I won't necessarily put it in my planner. So what I'll do is I'll add it to my to-do list just so I don't forget about it. And then I'm not freaking out about the fact that I don't have what I said I was going to use to make for dinner that day. The next thing that to-do lists are really helpful with is keeping track of time, because you can add you can put your own little time stamp on it or how long you think something will take. And that's really helpful for me personally. Now, again, you can do both of these things digitally. And if that works for you, that's great because you're not using as much paper, you're not wasting anything. But for me, I just don't retain it as well. And so that's what leads me to just keeping track of my time and keeping track of what I need to do like that. The next thing I want to talk about doing well with school, so tip number 2, is time management, which is very similar to the to-do list and the planner, but it's different. So time management is balancing your time and acknowledging the things that you have to do and things that you want to do and things that you need to do. So, for example, if you have a bonus credit assignment that is due at midnight, but you also have an essay due at midnight for a different class, probably work on the essay before you even think about the extra credit. Now, even if you are failing that other class, the essay should still probably come first. An essay that's due and it's not worth a lot of points, you might skip it then to do the extra credit, even though I recommend just not getting into this situation to begin with. And that's why I'm giving you some tips so you can avoid getting into that situation. So the first thing with like my personal time management, what I do to keep track of myself, and so I'm not constantly getting off track, is I like always err on the side of caution when it comes to my procrastination. I identify as a procrastinator. If it could be a professional job, I would be the professional procrastinator. But that can be a problem because you find yourself in positions where you're like, I should have done this 2 days ago or maybe 2 weeks ago when it was first assigned, and now I'm just sitting here looking at a 10-page paper. It's 11:35 p.m. I have 6 pages. I don't know about those other 4. It happens. Like sometimes you lose track of time. It gets the best of you. Even with a planner, even with a to-do list, life is still happening. There's going to be things that you don't put on either your to-do list or your planner, and you just end up like doing things sporadically, and it catches up to you after a while. And then it's just stressful. You want to get a good grade. You know you didn't really put in the time to get a good grade, but you're really hoping you did well enough, because who needed to read the whole book, right? At least that's what you're hoping anyway. Now, what I think really works well is if you schedule time in to study. And of course, that seems like a really obvious thing to do. I mean, like really schedule it in, like you would schedule like a date or a meeting. And you just say, this is my concrete study time. Nothing else can interfere with this unless it's an emergency. So if your roommate comes in and they're like, yeah, there's going to be like a big shebang down in such and such's room. If that little event happens while you're supposed to be studying, just say you can't go. There will be other crazy stuff to get into on campus and in your dorm hall all year long. There shouldn't be anything really going on now because of the pandemic. That's in and of itself like should be out of the window. So like that's not even a concern right now. But normally I would say just, you know, there's going to be other events. It's going to be other like parties and get-togethers. Unless it's something where it's kind of like maybe someone like you went to school with, or a senior is coming back to visit and you really want to see them, then just make sure you reschedule your time to study. That's the only time I would say like, yeah, a social event could supersede. Is if you're going to see someone there that you haven't seen in a long time and you really want to see them. Because that's understandable. But just try to be forgiving of yourself, but be tough with yourself at the same time. So like don't beat yourself up when you skip a day of studying because you wanted to take a nap. But at the same time, remind yourself, okay, I didn't study yesterday. Do I understand the content that we went over? Do I need to put in extra time? And then be flexible and willing to put in the extra time. I like to pretend everything is due the day before it is actually due. And that can save me a lot of headache and a lot of drama in my own personal life, because I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist. I wouldn't say that. But I would say I do try to strive for the very best grade I can get. And I know that not all subjects are going to be my strong suit. That's just how things are. You're going to have some classes that you do really, really well in, and classes that you're not going to do as well in. And that just depends on classes that you study really hard with, or maybe you're just really, really good, naturally good at something. For example, if like, let's say you're really good at math and you barely have to study for your math test. Like you just look over the formulas and it's all in your head. Me and math have the worst relationship, and we've had me and math have had a terrible relationship since I started to first count and I skipped numbers. Okay. Like it has never been good. But me and writing, on the other hand, we're best buds. I can write an essay in like that. But the problem is, even though I can write an essay like that, that doesn't mean I should wait until the last minute. If I write an essay and I rely on the fact that I'm a really fast writer, yeah, I got the essay done, but could it have been better? Could I have read more? Probably. Should I have? Definitely. And I'm so guilty of falling into these things where it's like, oh yeah, this is due to like tonight, and I need to do it. I could start doing it now. It's like 11 in the morning. I can start doing it now. Or I can go out, run around and do errands that I don't really need to do right now, and I can go and do it around like 8 p.m. 8 p.m. rolls around, and I'm like, I found something else to do. 9 p.m. And now it's 9 p.m. at night. I'm tired. I want to go to bed, but I have to write a paper for the next 2 hours and 58 minutes because I need at least 1 minute to submit the assignment. Which is also another thing. Don't do that to yourself. Like, do not wait until the hour hits 11:58 to submit an assignment, because that's always when something goes wrong. I've gotten lucky so far, and I haven't really hit any terrible snags, but I've definitely had some stressful moments where I'm just like sitting there like, oh my God, is it going to hit it before midnight? Is it going to submit? Is it going to happen? And I'm just stressed out and upset. And it's not my computer's fault. It's not even the Wi-Fi's fault. It's really me, because I should have done it. I should have just done it earlier. So, in other words, schedule things. Like, I don't necessarily mean you have to always put it in your planner or always put it in a to-do list. Just just think about it. Just be like, okay, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'm studying. That's it. It doesn't matter what I'm studying. It might be a different time for you. I like to go to bed 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m. at the latest. Yeah, I know. You're in college and you go to bed at 9:30 p.m. That's crazy. I wish I could do. Yeah, I know. Everyone makes fun of me for it. But that's just how my routine works. And my body likes to go to bed at that time. So that's what I do. If you're someone who stays up late, maybe 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is your sweet spot to study. Figure out what time that you feel the most productive and try to capture that energy and hold on to it, and you utilize it. So when you're in like a really good workflow and you're like, I could do some work right now, do it. Don't say, I could do some work right now. Yeah, I'm really feeling that vibe. And then just like go browse YouTube or something for like an hour. Do some homework. Throw some music on in the background and just get going, because when you have that momentum, when you're ready to do it, it feels so good when you're doing it. It doesn't feel as tedious. It doesn't feel as harsh. It just feels like, yeah, this is something I'm doing. I'm doing good. Look at me go. And by the time you realize it, you're basically done it. For me personally, I tend to hit that workflow at like most random times. I can't like really put like a certain time to it or a certain feeling to it. I'll just get in the mood. Like even with this YouTube video, I was just sitting at my desk and I was like, you know what? Today is the day. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make my first YouTube video and I'm going to post it. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how bad I think it is. I'm going to post it, and it's going to be for me and for, of course, everyone that's watching. And that's just what I'm doing. My biggest tip for time management is just make sure you're scheduling in time for the things that matter. I talked a lot about like studying and stuff like that, but other things that you should consider scheduling in, not even consider, that you should like schedule in: self-care. If like whatever like relaxes you, whatever calms you down, whatever gets you to like have like peace inside of you, do that thing. Schedule it for yourself. Maybe it's something that you do randomly, but make sure you find time to do that thing. So for example, for me, I'll normally sit down and I might meditate or something like that during the day. I try to meditate every morning. It's something I attempt to do. Does it happen every morning? No, I'm trying to work on that. But it's something that I feel helps me be more productive, because I feel as though I've already done something that I enjoy doing, and it has given me a sense of productivity early in the morning. Another thing that you might do is beauty stuff. So like if you like painting your nails, you might paint your nails, and that could be relaxing and convenient for you. You might be doing your hair. Doing my hair stresses me out, so I personally don't consider that as part of my relaxing self-care routine. It's a part of my self-care routine, but not my relaxation self-care routine. Something else you might try is going for a run, going for a walk. Exercise is good for you in general. If it relaxes you, that's even better. My next tip, so number 3, is don't let yourself get overwhelmed with stress. So the other 2 tips are like really great and all, but I would say this one is a result of following those tips, but also other things gathering together. So allow me to explain more. It's very easy to see that picture of college students who are like stressed or hunched over their laptop. They're in tears. They're very upset and distraught because nothing is going the way they want it to. And everything just seems a mess. And that is very much so a reality for some college students. But that doesn't mean it's something that has to be that way necessarily. Will you be stressed sometimes? Yeah, like stress is just a part of life. It happens sometimes. But the important thing is, don't let yourself get so stressed out to the point where you're just miserable and you can't like do anything else other than be stressed. Like that creates honestly a vicious cycle, because I'm sorry, I'm playing with stuff and I shouldn't. It creates a vicious cycle. So when you get like in that zone where it's like you have a million assignments piling up on you, you don't know really what to do, that's when you need to take a step back and breathe. Yes, your assignments are important, but your mental health is important too. And honestly, if your mental health isn't well taken care of, then your assignments are going to suffer. So it's like, again, it's a vicious cycle. If you need to take a break, take a break. Contact your professors. You can explain to them what's going on with as many details as you feel comfortable sharing with them. Talk to the school counselor. Talk to whoever you have at your school that assists and things like that, because they will probably be more understanding than you're expecting. I have personally not really dealt with that side of college as much, just because I don't like stress, like as most people don't, so I tend to avoid it at all costs. And I avoid it by just saying, you know what, I don't think I want to be bothered with this right now. I don't want this in my head right now. So I don't want to say something a matter of me saying I don't care about something and stepping back, even though that's how I will describe it to my friends. I'll say, I don't care about this anymore. And that's it. It's over. It's done with. Whatever it is, it'll be. But the truth is, I really just take a time to myself sometimes, and I'm like, I can't do this right now. And that's just how it is. I'm going to get my assignments done, but sometimes, you are a student, but you're not always a student. I'm also myself. I'm Morgan, so I want to do things that make me feel like myself. I'm not always going to want to sit and study a textbook, even if it is something that's related to my major, which I love, and I'm very interested in the topics that I get to learn about in my majors. I chose those majors because I enjoyed learning, but that's never going to be my 24/7. I can't imagine sitting in front of an international relations textbook for 12 hours of the day and being like, yeah, this is my idea of fun. Yeah. No, that's just not how that really shouldn't be anyone's thing, because even your professors, they'll tell you like, oh yeah, this weekend I went skiing. Your professor has a weekend hobby. You can have a weekend hobby too. Take time for yourself. And then again, if you're feeling like a lot of heavy stress and you're feeling like anxious or even like depressed, talk to someone. There are resources. Schools are getting better and better with handling mental health. And if the help that they offer isn't really the right thing for you, definitely check online. I'm trying to find some things and link them below. Do what you need to do to not only be the best you, but also to remain you. So the video got a little longer than I expected. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who decided to watch to the end. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the comment section and in future videos. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to welcome you to my official YouTube channel.